AITA for telling my parents that being better parents to their younger children does not make up anything to me? Am I the asshole? More lettuce 8160. NTA. The point of therapy is to be honest. You gave your parents an honest assessment of your childhood, their parenting, and how it impacted you and how you feel about it now. Greater than they told me it was spiteful to not take joy in my siblings having better, and they accused me of being stubborn and unforgiving. You told them some hard truths. They didn't like hearing it. You were not spiteful, stubborn, or unforgiving in anything you said. Your parents and younger siblings are part of your extended family, but your core family consists of you and your paternal grandparents. Peony Pony. 1726. NTA. This is probably a prelude to making you their babysitter. This would be a great way for you all to bond so that we can go off and be a couple again. Diminishing patience. 1054. NTA. Your egg and sperm donors didn't want you as their child and pawned you off onto grandparents, who thankfully stepped up to the plate. They told me it was spiteful to not take joy in my siblings having better, and they accused me of being stubborn and unforgiving. XA 0 inches. How is it spiteful to not take joy in watching your younger sibs actually have their parents engage with them instead of throwing them away? Comfortable. C. 2454. 7864. NTA at all. If your parents want a relationship with you, they need to earn one with you. Not assume that by giving your siblings everything you never had would somehow make your relationship better. Your parents are the selfish Oz. And it's nothing to do with age. There are many young parents who do a great job of raising and loving their kids. XA0 Go to the therapy. Not for them, but for you. Work through your feelings of abandonment and resentment and let them know exactly why their behavior the last 17 years wasn't acceptable. ETA. Are they assuming you will be a free babysitter to your siblings? Cuss, you should make clear that that ain't happening. Equivalent. Moose 2886. 471. NTA. Your parents are seeking absolution. They know they were horrible parents. And they know it even more every time they do something for their other children because it reinforces everything they didn't do for you. They're attempting to put pressure on you to forgive them and admit that they're better parents now. And it's all okay now. They feel guilty and don't know how to make it up or make proper amends for their actions. So they're trying to speedrun the process by pressuring you. Abstruse. 278. NTA. I screamed internally when your parents stated they don't know you. And that's the problem. But it's their problem. They had every opportunity to love and care for you, but instead acted like you were a burden and annoying. A child that needed their mother and father. I applaud and admire your grandparents for taking care of you and teaching you things such as cooking. They know how your folks are, and it's clear they see you as more than just their grandbaby. Bless them. If anyone deserves the parent title, it's them. Your parents can whine and cry all they want about you being distant. It's their fault. Big_drama_2624. 91. Lol. Mine were kinda like this too. I was an invisible child. My brother, 15 years younger, was a son they really cared about. I am in my 40s now. Recently I told my son that he should start his homework in 15 minutes. He has ADHD and needs being reminded. My parents were visiting us and my dad heard about the homework and started bragging that he never told me anything like that. That he never traumatized his children with homework. I honestly laughed. I didn't even live with them at that age to be reminded of homework. When I was 8 to 10, I lived with my grandparents and communicated with my parents like once a month. Over the phone. What homework lol. NTA. Edit. Grammar. Particular about time. 121. AITA for telling anyone who asks why I don't bake for our hall anymore. Am I the asshole? Maybe bad cupcake. NTA lady with kids is out of line. She should be angrier at her own poor parenting. Every parent I know with a peanut allergy kid teaches those kids caution from a very young age. It's like, okay, what do we do before crossing the street? Stop, look, listen, and what do we do when we see a plate of unattended cookies? Don't eat them because it could literally kill me. Good job, Junior. Have fun at preschool today because you're only 3 but still have to know this because I want to be around you every waking moment, so I have to instill this in you. Is it considerate to add a little placard next to food offerings naming the food and potential allergens? Sure, that helps both kids and adults with allergies or food restrictions who enjoy free food. But everyone with an aforementioned has had to miss out on yummy looking but questionable free treats. Myself included. That's life. While I normally don't really like gossipy shit stirring, I am kinda on Lily's side here. This mom deserves some negative press. I bet some of the other residents have come to the same conclusion and mom is embarrassed. Good. She should be. Mom better. You wouldn't have killed her kid. Her negligence would have. That isn't going to be the only plate of free brownies that kid sees in their life. Consolelog_A11Y 9739. No good deed goes unpunished. NTA. Your neighbor seems to wake up each morning and pick someone to be offended by. Today, your name was drawn from the hat of Woe Carrot. TM. Kronkla Sorda. 1499. NTA. I would ask the allergy person what you were supposed to say as to why you weren't putting out food when asked. Saying we had an allergy scare is pretty reasonable. G. Webb 1920. 2184. NTA greater than one of her kids. Allergic to peanuts. Had some of my peanut butter brownies. If you have allergies, you don't eat random in labeled food. And when you **** do***, you get exactly what you have coming to you. What the actual fuck? Greater than I agreed to pay for the cab she took back and forth to the hospital, which I know if getting off easy for what happened. Yuck. I don't love that. Greater than since then I don't leave any food out at all because that situation made me nervous. I know it wasn't the worst that could have happened, but still. Fair. But NGL. Just lean into it and start always leaving out a card. Eat at your own peril. St. Alvis. 578. NTA. You should have paid anything to that entitled woman. It's her responsibility to teach her allergic kid to not eat anything unsupervised. Also, she should have let her kid to roam unsupervised in the hallways. All of this is super irresponsible of her. Not you. I would continue leaving baked goods, but would always include a note listing all the ingredients for everyone's peace of mind. And now that you know about the peanut allergy, just avoid using peanuts in your recipes, and that's about it. If you and other neighbors love this little tradition, you should discontinue it because of one. Entitled B. You can't hold back spring. 919. NTA. You should have paid anything to begin with. It is always the responsibility of the person with the allergy to not eat random unattended food they don't know what's in. She's wrong on all counts and her actions have consequences she doesn't like. Brief Horror. 94. NTA. And your neighbor sounds like a bully. Going to the landlord? To report what exactly? Paying for the cab to go from the hospital and trying to get more dollar from you to pay for medical expenses? Do you maybe let people walk all over you? That's the vibe I'm getting. Don't let her bully you. She's in charge of her child's health, not you. Why wasn't she with him when he ate the brownies if it is so important? Edited. She's. Lala 5789880. 398. AITAH for telling my friend the truth? Am I the asshole? Affectionate Dust 9979. NTA that's the least I would have done if my friend said that to me about my sister. That dude's an incel. And not someone I'd wanna call a friend. He needs to get out of his own world and have some self-awareness. It's his fault he gets no play, not yours. Glad you gave him a little reality check. Stevie_Fettuccini, 1533. Do not, and I am saying do not let him around your sister ever. Tell your sister about what happened and warn her to stay away from him at all costs. He may do something to her when you're not looking if he's so comfortable talking about her like that. To her own brother, thinking you'd agree. South_Hamster 1365. 5845. 5. NTA you gave him a harsh reality check after he said some disgusting things about your sister to your face. He's lucky you didn't rearrange his teeth for him after saying something like that about your sister. Not that I am saying you should physically assault someone, but some lines shouldn't be crossed. What friend speaks like that about someone's sister? Open Negotiation 6232. 480. NTA. You may have even noticed this about your friend way before he disrespected you by talking so vulgar about your sister, but he probably took it bad because he has zero self-awareness. Couldn't read a room with bifocals on and absolutely deserved much more pain than just a well-worded read. His tears mean nothing. He isn't even man enough to stand up and face his own immaturity or lack of hygiene. You did him a favor. Y_AITA. 690. Some more important context. The friend in question isn't someone that I hang out with regularly at all. He's an old classmate of mine, and this incident happened while some of our old classmates got together since all of us were home for the holidays. And yes, I'm never talking to or seeing him again, and definitely not letting my sister anywhere near him at all. Affectionate Dust 9979. 193. Sometimes we need a good friend to be brutally honest to us when we are messing up. You did him a favor, and hopefully at some point he will see that. The Famus. 87. NTA. He can go crawl in a ditch. That's disgusting. Also, you had every right to stand up for your sister. If anybody talked about my baby sister that way, there'd be hell to pay. Also, it's hilarious that he cried and sulked back home. Don't feel bad about it. You made this man cry. This is a good day. I'd laugh about it if I were you. Lovely_Ananuser. 111. AITA for telling my cousin why I don't let my mom dog sit for me anymore. Quote, am I the asshole? Appropriate Pi 9824. 4. NTA. Unfortunately, we see this with pets and children all of the time. Grandparents, or other mature adults, think they know better than the younger generation with whom they interact and completely disregard directions about diet, play, sleep, and general care. It's pretty disrespectful. If your mom didn't know that young dogs who are unvaccinated should not be around other dogs, she should have asked. But, to your point, she is a prior dog owner herself. So that root cause falls flat pretty quickly. Do I think your cousin is a blabbermouth who needs to shut her pie hole? Yes. Yes, I do. So maybe one thing to consider is how much you tell her that you don't want being repeated in an uncontrolled manner. But saying something when asked about it doesn't make you an asshole. Gone Baby Thoughts. 3208. NTA. You had a reasonable expectation that your mom would follow basic instructions to keep your unvaccinated puppy safe, especially given the clear communication about his vaccination status. Taking the puppy to a public place where he could be exposed to diseases was a significant oversight on her part, particularly for a breed as susceptible to health issues as a German Shepherd puppy. While you didn't explicitly say, don't take him outside, the context of him being unvaccinated and your instruction to be careful should have been enough. especially considering her experience with dogs. It's unfortunate that your puppy contracted parvo, a serious and often deadly disease. Due to this lapse in judgment, you shared the situation with your cousin, which is a natural thing to do, especially when discussing your pet's health and your life. You weren't spreading rumors. You were recounting a factual experience that directly impacted your puppy's well-being. Your mother's refusal to acknowledge her role in the situation or offer an apology only underscores her lack of accountability. Blocking her might seem like a drastic step, but it's a boundary you felt necessary to set after her dismissive response to a serious situation. Your priority is your pet's health and well-being, and you acted to protect that. Bluffing post 771. NTA. I feel for your pup. Parvovirus is no effing joke for puppies. Your mom seems to have forgotten Puppy 101. You should probably keep important things from Cousin McToxalot. Cataclysmus 78. 552. NTA. How are you supposed to make things clear that it wasn't her fault, when it literally was in fact her fault that the puppy caught parvo? Parvo. That is so beyond terrifying. I am so sorry it happened, and I am glad your pup is doing better now. Yes, maybe you could have communicated better to her, but I still feel it's reasonable to assume that she would understand that he doesn't have his shots yet. Don't take him outside, let him meet other dogs. That, and she should be taking responsibility and paying for his vet bills since the illness was due to her mistake, not being angry at you for sharing a true factual story with a family member. Man. Clever Citrus. 258. NTAIT is basic knowledge that puppies need their vaccines before going out. Anyone who has ever had a dog, and is a responsible owner, knows this. I have a puppy who just turned 4 months old, and when she did not have all her vaccines she didn't leave the house. And anyone who wanted to meet her, which we rounded down to my parents and my ILs, had to wash their hands. It's just like a little baby. They do not have the anticorps for anything. Let other people know. It's her own IR responsibility. Accountant_rules. 180. Mom didn't know, remember. You didn't specify. Crafty Terminal 42, 5. How is the relationship with your mother generally? Like before you got the dog? Taz_MHOT, 9.